I've lost the books. I don't know where they are. Friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah from INKTENSE Coloring, and today we are continuing our merman page here. This is part 2 of our colouring page. So in part 1, we've done the background with watercolour, we've done the skin, we've also done some basing as well with some of the seaweed. And today we're going to complete the page. So let's dive straight in. I think I'm going to start with the seaweed and then we can move on to the hair. I think I'm going to use oil pencils over the top of this. I just like the way that POLYCHROMOS and the DERWENT INKTENSE work together. So I'm going to start off with Red Violet, POLYCHROMOS 194. It's a really good match for these colours here, and I've got some other browns and yellows and stuff that we can use. So start off over here. Bring that outwards. Yeah, I really like the way that polys work with these. With watercolour, I'm not going to put this around every single edge. I don't think. Originally I was going to go for like bright reds and oranges and stuff, but then once I did the skin tone and the eyes, I was like, oh, you know what, I think brown would really go well. So yeah, we're going to go for some, you'd probably call them like autumnal colours even. Yeah, let's not go around every one and we'll just see how that looks. We can always add it back in. Just like the idea of lots of different colours. Hopefully that's focusing okay for you. Sometimes, yeah, when I zoom in so you can get the details, the camera doesn't know what to focus on and it focuses on my hand instead of the colouring page. I don't know how to fix it. I can change the camera focus settings, but it means that I can't hold the pencil up, and that is a key. That is really key, especially in my editing. I need to do that, and I need to show you what pencil as well. So yeah, I don't know. Can't win. So as you can probably see, I'm just starting from the outside, working my way in just on some of the areas. You don't always have to do, if there's a repeating edge like this, you don't always have to do the same colour. I mean, you don't have to do the same colour anyway, you can mix it up at any time on any element. Alrighty, at the top. Okay, that will do for the red violet. Now I want to go for something that's kind of different, kind of the same, not really, in the Polychromos again, Kaput Mortem Violet 263. I mean, I'm hoping that's how you say Kaput. I think it is. I say this every time. And I'm just going to go over the areas that I didn't do. It's a very similar colour. Bit more brown. Feel free to just use the other colour if you want. If you can't be bothered switching it up, or you don't have the pencil. Or you might be using a different set of pencils and you're just using like a conversion chart or something. Feel free just to, yeah, just use whatever you have. Okay, and then the key is to remember where you did and where you didn't do. I think I did here, but let's go over it a little bit again. Down here. I think that's done already, this one. Yes. If you like the look of the seaweed, you don't have to go in with further colours other than this. You could leave the really light areas if you like. I'm just going to add more yellows and browns to it. So yeah, you can skip steps if you like. Did I? I think I missed it. No. I'm like, I think I missed this one, but then I also think I did it. I don't know. Hard to tell. Okay, there's that colour. Just for a few final tweaks in this burgundy colour family, I'm going to use a Caput Mortem 169, sorry. Those are really hard to read, aren't they? And I'm just going to pop it in a few areas because it is slightly different yet again. Again, you don't have to use it. If you like. Sarah, you're just using too many colours. Can you stop? Just going to join up some areas. Go over other areas that I've missed. That's nice, yeah. I like how this works with the more red colours. And just at the top. Alrighty, might start bringing out some browns now. So let's go brown ochre 182 again in the Polychromos. And I'm just going to work on this little area here, some of these areas that have the yellow underneath. But it can 1000% cross over into the pink areas, that's fine. It's kind of what I want it to do. And I was going to do just different areas, so I'm not just doing the same spot on each like little outie section. I'm just picking random spots again. Just like how the yellow is not at the same spot on every section of the seaweed. It's different, so I'm just going to dot it around the place. You don't have to, I mean, you can make it uniform if you want to, but you don't have to. And I find you get a lot more interesting results if you be random with it. It's kind of part of the style as well, I guess. So I might add a bit up here because we've got some space for it. Okay, now for terracotta, which is 186 again in the polychromos, which, yeah, stating the obvious because they all look the same, but yeah. Okay, so let's go just under these pink areas. Go over some of the yellow areas too, it really doesn't matter. I'm just kind of going to put this colour where I need more colour. There's already a lot of this tone in the skin, so it kind of just, in my opinion, just helps it kind of all tie together. And it's kind of changing the tone of those brown violet colours that we used. Might go over some of this yellow as well, just to mix all that together. Very, very glad I've done it this way. I'm liking this a lot better than just one colour. Yes, sir. And I like how just with the watercolor underneath, the watercolor pencil, it just adds a bit of texture too. You can kind of see like a lot of the watermarks and stuff, which yeah, I like it. That's what I like. It just adds a bit of something. All right. Now perhaps let's try Dark Naples Ochre 184. I just laugh because I look at the German pronunciation. I just have it says like Neopergeldunkel. Good thing I don't know. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Yeah, I'll just stick with what I know. I'm sorry for butchering it. And I reckon with so with this yellow, I'm not going to bring it out all the way, and I do just kind of want to leave lighter gaps in the middle, and I'll go over that with the white because I like it. It looks very glowy, so I'll leave a fair amount of that there, and we'll just bring over some yellow. That top left one's certainly got enough colour on it. We'll see how far I can bring out these. We'll see how far I can bring out the colour on this one. So I don't want things to look too yellow, but we need enough colour on there at the same time. So we'll just see, we'll see how we go with it. We can always go back and put one of the other colours that we used in. Reapply. I need a bit up the top, a little bit more. Okay, I might just on this side, let's just pull out a bit more of Caput Mortem 169. I'll just see if I can, because I'm happy with this one. See, it's not like this complete yellow strip in the middle, but this one is. So let's see if we can just break that up just a little bit. I'm going to go fairly lightly. Just bring it out to the edge. All right, that's looking better. Okay, now I'm gonna just grab the Chinese white again from the Derwent drawing, 7200, and just go over the middle bits. You don't have to do this. You could just leave it how it is. You don't have to have everything completely burnished or whatever, but I'm just gonna smooth it out a little bit. It's also just going to brighten up whatever's there. I suppose, yeah, I'd say that's probably the main reason why I do it. I'm thinking what we're going to do with all these little circles, even on his face as well, is just add some glitter. I've got some of that folk art stuff. So I do have the hologram, which I use regularly, but that glitter's more of like a blue, green, purple. I do have a champagne color in my collection, which we could bring out. Righto, now for these bits. What I might start off with is green gold 268 in POLYCHROMOS. And I'll just use this for a bit of vibrancy. I've got a bit of yellow as well, and we'll add some, I mean, we could add a darker color in the corners, but this sepia ink color is really vibrant. I won't say vibrant, but it's very bold, so we almost don't need to. Yeah, I feel like because they're a lot smaller, the watercolor layers that we did, the INKTENSE layers that we did, I should say, have actually done most of the heavy lifting for us. So it's just a matter of going over the top. Righto, there's that one. Whoop, I'm dropping pencils left, right and centre today. I drop everything. Let's try light yellow ochre 183. Let's try it. We might not need it, but I just want to pop it somewhere and see if it's just doing the same thing. Oh no, it's worth it. Maybe on just like the bigger ones. Yeah. I'll just pop it where there's a bit more space. And sometimes, yeah, it's worth doing that too. Like you don't have to, when you've got a color, like I've been saying, like you don't have to pop it everywhere on the same area. Not all the time anyway. You don't have to put it on every single leaf section, just put it on some. Especially, it comes in handy when there's like different sizes of things and whatnot. Yeah, I think that'll do. Now I'm just thinking, I'm just looking at my little pencils that I've used, because I do like the way the browns come through already, but could we try maybe we should try and see what it looks like if we add a bit of this Caput Mortem Violet 263. Let's just add a little bit and just shade it over the top. Let's do it on some, not all. It adds this very interesting kind of layer of color. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it kind of adds this like little random purpley bit, random reddy purpley bit, which I think looks interesting. And I'm going to save the center of these for a pigment. We'll save that for embellishments. I've got the Pearl-X pigment. We'll mix that with some gum arabic. I finally bought some. When if you've seen one of my latest haul videos, I bought some, and I bought they were recommending, this is the people that make the Pearl-X, they were recommending the varnish, and I tried the varnish, but it just wasn't doing it for me. I didn't love it. And so I had a few people recommend the gum arabic, and so I got some of that, and it looks really good. So I will use the varnish as well. Like I think the varnish is probably going to work better because some of the pigment powders, you got to put a lot more layers on. So maybe I'll use the varnish for ones where you don't need to apply as many layers because the pigment's a bit stronger. So yeah. Fun fact. Okay, I don't think we need to add the white pencil over that. I think that is fine. What I want to do next is the hair. So on this particular occasion, I'm actually going to white out all the black lines because his hair is going to be white. And I'll show you the colors that I've picked. So you might be thinking, oh, if his hair's white, then it's done. No. So I've got some of my new Pablos here. And you can see that I've got so this is the CARAN Pablos. I've got a mix of a blush pale, a light green, and a couple of greys. Because when something can be white, but it's not all white, it can give off the illusion of being all white, but there's actually all this color through it. And I've chosen grey because I think it's just the grey would work well to add some shadows. And then I've chosen the bluish pale and the light green to really reflect the background. So I think we can start off with these colors and see how we go. So there are two ways to do it. If you want to use a acrylic marker, which I am using today, I've got an OHUHU NAHUKU. OHUHU NAHUKU. Number 101. So I'm going to use this today, and this is a brush tip one, and I find this one's really good for covering up some black lines. I have done this before. Oh, and I should mention too, sorry, add in a much darker grey as well, just for some super shadows. So we're going to try these today. I've had a lot of people say these are great for hair, so we're going to try that today. So let me show you an example of what it looks like when you cover up the black lines before you colour hair. And so this one that I'm using as an example today is from Hannah Coleson's Tales of Atlantis, and it's this guy here, another merman that I did. So see how the hair, you can't really see any of these. You can still see the shape. You could probably just see the lines a little bit, but it's really hidden. And it's amazing what a little bit of cover up can do. So I did do it for majority of the line work on this page. And when I did this, I actually just scrubbed over the entire surface. I didn't just go around the outlines. And I wasn't super happy with that, just in terms of how it felt. I really had to push with the pencils to get them to work and to get them to be as vibrant as this is. So what I am going to do is attempt just to go over the lines themselves with the brush tip. Now, another way that you could approach this is that you could do all the pencil work first and then outline everything after it's done. However, because all the lines are really close together, you might end up losing a lot of that pencil work. So I'm going to try it this way. I'm going to try it a new way today, and I'm going to see if I like the result of this way or that Tales of Atlantis way. We'll see. So if you're following along, perhaps you might want to just watch first and see how the result turns out and see if you like it. So these are the white kind of won't completely cover up the black line. You'll still kind of half see it, but I'm fine with that. I don't really want to go over the whole thing twice. I would really only do that if I'm very intent of removing a black line completely, say if I'm colouring white flowers and I really want the background. Sorry, I really want the lines to disappear, but for this occasion, I just want to dull them because I'm going to have streaks anyway. So, OHUHU, NAHUKU, you could even use a gel pen. I just used the OHUHUs when I did that other one. So this brush nib, I could almost go and grab another pen, but we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to work right to left, and I am just going to maybe just lift it up a little bit. I'm just going to hold it. Hopefully that's going to be in focus for you, and I'm just going to drag. And I know, so tedious, so tedious. Kind of, do I regret my decision to do this? I'm using a brush tip because, number one, you can have more flexibility with them. But number two, I just, sometimes with the hard nib, the push nib, gee whiz, like you gotta be cleaning it, you gotta be pressing it all the time, you gotta be burping it. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so see what I mean? Like you can still see it. So I'll probably just give this a shake. If not, I'll just grab another pen because I think there's still a fair amount left in here. There's so many different ones you can try. I think when I chose this one because I did a test with this one and pencils just to see. There we go. I did a test of pencils over all the various white acrylic markers that I had, and I think I liked the OHUHU one the best, but because I'm not colouring over the whole area. By all means you can, if that's quicker for you, do it. But I'm going to try this way because I wasn't too happy with how the pencils felt. And I had to just work really hard and it was frustrating me to the nth degree. Feel free to skip ahead. I do my best to put everything in chapters for you, just in case there's a section that bores you. So feel free to skip ahead if you don't want to watch this, or just you can tap on your screen and hold it just on the right side, like just like tap like just there, and you can you'll pop it at ×2, and I'll talk in chipmunk. But already, yeah, that's looking better. Let me just grab another, let me grab an Artex one. I'll see how that does. Right, let's try. I've just got it's like a cotton core one. It doesn't have any, like you don't shake it or anything. You literally just grab it and go. So we'll try this. Oh, it's the same. Yeah, let's not use that. Let's just go back to this one. Oh, generally, yeah, I do have a Tooly Art one, but because we are doing so many, I will just be forever reshaking the Tooly Art one and re-burping it, and I do not want to be doing that. I like the Tooly Art's definitely the juiciest, it's definitely the most opaque, but it's the hardest to work with. Probably same with the Posca. Any of the ones that are the hard nib and you've got to like burp it to activate it drives me insane. But sometimes it's worth it because of the color payoff you can get, or you know, they might be the only style, the only type that I have that has a specific color that I like. I think a lot of other people use things like gesso or gesso, whatever it's called, to wad out black lines. I don't have any of that. I'm just using what I have. I'll probably add some, but it hasn't been on the priority list. It can kind of be expenny with all the different mediums you add. Like if, you know, I just bought the gum Arabic and that was $25, so it's like, how many mediums do you need? And then, yeah, my masking fluid's getting a bit gunky, so I might need to replace that soon. So yeah, it's just the priority list. Oh man, so funny. All of the things. I mean, it is, look, it is a relatively cheap hobby compared to some other hobbies that we've had in the household. Yeah, art is, it can be as cheap or as expensive as you want it to be. When I say the word expensive, I mean expensive. I know you know that. I'm just telling you that I know what the word is. I know it's expensive. Just in case some of you think that I don't know what the real word is. Does she not know that it's expensive, not expenny? Does she think that's what it's called? It's actually quicker than I thought. I'm almost halfway. I thought this would take me like an hour to do. Yeah, I reckon you would probably take 3 coats of this to get this completely removed. The other reason why I don't want to have completely stark white hair is because he's kind of looking like a mermaid Santa at the minute with the white hair, like completely white. So we'll get a bit of grey going in there. You could thread a bit of brown through it if you want, you know, to give the illusion that he once had brown hair. Could do that. Remy's dreaming, guys. I wonder what she's dreaming about. I need to have like a dog cam, like an Ace and Remy cam on somehow when I'm filming. I could have it up in the corner. It's like, this is what the dogs are also doing. Just looking at her, she sits like a human on the couch. Like she sits upright and puts her back against the against the chairs. So let's do an eyebrow first. And we won't need to do like washes of colour or anything like that initially, kind of like we do when we're doing coloured hair, because the base layer is white. We're really just using some colour just for a little bit of shadow and a little bit of reflection. So if you had a different color background, if you had like a red background, you could use some pastel oranges, pastel pinks. So I'm using the blues because that's what's in the background. So you just make it match and just go like the lightest version of. This brush tip is fraying a little bit. They don't last long. Good thing it came with 50 million in the pack. Ugh. It's all just like dragging stuff. If I was outlining something, I would switch pens, but as in it, like if I was outlining, say, something like that had color underneath, I would switch pens because I wouldn't want this is dragging like extra gunk everywhere, but it's fine for here because you're not going to notice it. It's just white on white, so it should be all right. Famous last words though. Famous last words though. I can't talk today. Even, yeah, you could just leave him like that if you can't be bothered with all the hair colouring. If you like the more of a cartoony look, you could, but oh, steady. My hands get a bit wiggly sometimes. It's got a very interesting expression, this guy. This fella. I think Emelie Lidehall Oberg and Maria Trolle, I think, do really good jobs at conveying expression and emotion with their pictures, especially their portraits. I have the most reaction to their portraits, I find, and how Maria draws her faces and draws the expression of the animals' faces in her books as well. She does a really good job. But yeah, Emelie as well. Now I might have to go over this section again just here because I will be painting around that, so we can just go around the edges. Let's see. There's just a little bit here that I find is a little bit dark still. So we can start with this and see how we go. Okay, so I'm gonna just go fairly cautious with the colors. I'm not gonna do full areas like I would with, you know, like a brunette or a blonde. I'm just gonna be very cautious with it. So I'm probably gonna start off with, maybe let's start off with this steel grey in the Pablos, which is 004. This is probably very hard to read. Actually, probably a bit easier than the polys if I tilt it because it's flat. So these are the Pablos. I'll see if Caran d'Ache Pablo fits on the screen there. If not, it'll just be CD Pablo. We'll see what I can fit on the screen in the text. And I'll probably just start down the bottom. This is my first time using these. If you saw my latest Happy Mail video, these were gifted to me, like the 120 sets. So it's my first time using them. I'm very keen. So I'm just going to start with some shadows. This is a really nice blue-grey. Oh yeah, these are nice. And immediately I'm happy with the fact that I didn't cover over, that I didn't just color over everything with the with the pen. I'm happy I just stuck to the lines, because it's kind of adding, I don't know if you can see it, but because you do have to press harder to get color on it, it's kind of putting highlights in there, which is cool. So when I'm coloring over the acrylic marker versus when I color over the paper, it's a different result. Yeah, so see how we're just getting some shadows? Even if you notice on your travels, if you take note of, you know, if you find a portrait of like a little white dog, a pencil coloring, have a look. It's not white. There's white in it, but there's other colors in there that give the illusion of white. So all I'm doing is, if I can just show you very clearly, is I'm just flicking upwards. And I'm just lifting the pencil off, like I'm not doing a straight harsh line, I'm lifting off. Lifting off and up. So I'm going to use this color through pretty much everything, all the strands, and I'm thinking with, or all the sections, and I'm thinking with the blue and the aqua, they'll just be through some. I'll just scatter it around. This is the second lightest grey. I do have another lighter one, which I will bring out too. Pablos are working really nice with this effect. They're like, they're very soft. Not soft as in like wax soft as in like the color. Any completely shadowed areas, I'll just cover that up. Any areas that are a bit behind things, you just, yeah, just cover it up with some colour. She'll be right. Oh, I missed a bit over here. Oh, I missed another section over here. Gee whiz. And more over here, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Where else have we missed, Sarah? There. Good for now. Okay, let's go to our next colour. Then might start just, maybe we could work in this dark grey, which is 007 in the Pablos. And let's just do some of the shadows underneath. I'll just be cautious with it to start off with. I'm not going to bring it out as far as the other colour. I definitely do need to bring out the lighter grey. The other good thing too, and I suppose you could do this without covering up the black lines as well, but you don't have to, and I'm doing it by default, but you don't have to treat every little section as its own thing. You can just start clumping all these little sections together into one big one and just treating it like one big shape instead of like 7 little ones. I've just been doing it by default, but yeah, you can certainly just add them all together. Okay, let's grab the lightest grey. That is Silver Grey 002. And I'm just wanting to bridge the white areas and the grey, because you can, it's like we've got this very harsh thing going on in some areas. So I'm just gonna smooth that out a bit, and we can grab the other colour too and do that as well, that mid grey that we had. And then we'll be adding in our blues too. We almost don't need to do too much of them. And I'm just, I'm just colouring over it just to blend it. Oh, there's a spot I forgot. We could as well, we could do is with that hologram glitter that I used, we could just do random streaks of that in his hair, like not too many. We'll see how we're going for, I don't know, sparkle ratio. When I add the other ones in, yeah, I'll see if we can afford to do it or not. Hopefully we can, because it'll be cool. Okay, that might do for the grey for now. I mean, might just go back with that steel grey, 004. And just bring this out a bit. A little bit. Some areas that I feel like it needs a bit of blending. Good for now though. Let's add in some light green, 181. And if I just brush off a little bit first, I just start down the bottom too. A little bit of colour. I'm not gonna like flick it hard. I just want, like I was with the grey at the start, I just want a little bit of colour. Like not very noticeable at all, but that's the point. Like it's just needs to be really subtle. If you're going for like, if you had a bolder background, you could certainly add way more. But let's just do little bits here and there. I'm just choosing like curved areas and also some areas where there's a lot more white space. Some behind the ear as well. Hello, Remy. Remy's come up to me with a toy. She's like, we are bored. Please throw the toy for me, Mummy. Those big claws on the floorboard. She can't get away with anything because you can hear her through the whole house wherever she is. Oh, I know. Put a little bit in the eyebrows. Just thinking where else to put it, maybe down here. Got to add that blue in too. Let's add the blue before I kind of run out of space. So this is bluish pale, 371. Getting used to all the colour names. You can see this one as much. Let's just add some here. Alrighty, I think that might do for the hair. Just gonna pick up the NAHUKU again. NAHUKU, yeah. NAHUKU, and just fix this gap. There we go. Oh, that's nice and juicy, that one. That gets so juicy. Huh. Anyway, time for our embellishments now, and I'm just going to pop this to the side because I do need to mix some colours together, so we'll just do that. Right. So I've got myself a ramekin, and then I've got a couple of pigment powders, and then I've also got some gum arabic as well as the medium to mix these powders with so that it binds it. So the first powder I have is Aztec Gold. This is going to be our Trident. This is a Pearl X pigment powder. You don't have to use this if you don't have it. Don't go out and buy it if you don't want to. You can just use a gold watercolor paint or a gel pen or whatever you want to use. So this is Aztec Gold. The other one I'm going to be using is Antique Copper, which is 661. It's a bit hard to read, again in the Pearl X pigment, so it's just powder. So those two. And I do have an assortment of brushes that I like to use with these. So I use this acrylic, oh sorry, this like what do you call that? Synthetic brush, it's like a rubber brush, and I use that to mix everything together, the powder and the gum. And I've just got some brushes that I like to apply it with. I find the flat ones will work really well. And then I've just got this one for some glitter. The other thing that I won't be mixing with the powder pigments, I'll just do them on their own. I've got some Folk Art Extreme glitter. So I've got the hologram, which is I use that all the time. And I've got a champagne here as well. So the champagne's going to go well with the tones that we've already got going on. So both of these have a clear base and it's just the fine glitter on the top. So to mix all of these, I do need to get myself some very tiny measuring spoons. At the minute, the smallest I can find in my house is 1/4 teaspoon. And that in itself, like even half of it is more than enough for 2 colors. So I'm going to try and get as little as I can in here. I try and go a ratio of 1 to 1 So 1 part gum arabic and 1 part powders. And then to actually dig the powder out, I just use the bottom of this like baby spoon. So yeah, I really do need to get some tinier implements than this. This is the smallest that I have. Right, so we'll open this one up. And I'm just gonna like try and grab the tiniest bit. Like that's not even half. And that should probably do for both. Bit in there. And there as well. It should be all we need. I just might rest that on a cloth. You can always add more, but yeah, I just don't want to go too crazy too soon. Okay, I'm going to grab both of them. Look how shimmery these are. And just add purple on here. I'll just wipe that off. I'm literally just going to like, oh, not that much. Maybe that. I'll see how that goes. I'll see if that is pigmenty enough. You can kind of tell if it, for me, if it gets really watery, then I've got to add more. So yeah, I'm trying to go as little as I possibly can so I don't waste any. Look at that one. It's like, oh, so shiny. Shove that back in there. Even on my finger, it's like so shiny. And again, just like the tiniest little bit. Maybe that, because this one had more. I need to also buy some tiny little containers for, because I'm assuming if you have it in an airtight container, you can reuse it. So I do want to buy some tiny containers so I can store my leftovers. I don't have any at the minute. Then I'm just going to mix them together. You could use a palette knife, I guess, but getting a palette knife into this, that's why I use this. Silicone, that's the word. Silicone brushes is the word I'm looking for. Yep, that looks like a good consistency to me. I am new with these. I've been playing around and swatching them a fair amount, so I'm getting used to the behavior. I have done some color alongs previously as well with this in it, so yeah, just learning how it all works. Mix the gold up as well. Yeah, I find this silicone brush, this flat one, does a much better job at mixing it together than like a paintbrush would. I don't know why. It kind of acts like a palette knife, even though it's clearly not. It does a good job. Wipe that off as well. And then the other color that I'm just preparing, I'm letting it soak. I've got my watercolor paints here, my shimmery ones, and this is a walnut. I don't have the name of it on the tin because these ones in the middle are not from this tin. They're from another CSY tin. These names are the ones that are on the sides. So yeah, the top one's like it's a walnut. So I'm just letting that kind of wet up a little bit and activate. So let's get our coloring book back and I'll get all this out of the way. Okay. So the Trident, I think we're going to do in this Aztec gold, and then the antique copper is going to be the stars. And then in the middle here is going to be that walnut color. So I'm going to use my flat brush. This is a Royal and Langanickle. This is 6mm or 1/4 inch. Yeah, it's just a flat one. It does have some glitter on it from previous things, but that's okay. So I'm just going to dip it in there. It is a little bit stiff, but we'll see how we go. I can change up if I need to. It is actually quite stiff. Maybe I should change this up. It just applies all this stuff very well. Let me just see if I can loosen that up a bit. Okay, take 2. I think there's just a bit of glue stuck in it. I just tried to even that a bit. That's a little bit better. Yeah, I found with these like a flat brush works well. Or did work well. It's just this like sticky hardy bit on the brush I'm trying to contend with. So I don't get it in the hair. I'm going to try and keep it within the black lines. Yep, good job. I can probably, I've seen people adjust with like fine liners and stuff, so I could probably grab a fine liner and just fix that up. Might swap brushes just to get these real skinny spots, but I'll probably do a couple of coats as well, I reckon. Just cover up those lines. We'll just keep the outer. All right. I'll just let that settle a little bit before I apply the next coat. And I'll just go onto these stars with the antique copper. Might need a different brush for these too. Oh no, it's all right. I just really liked these brushes when I was swatching them. They just worked so well. But to get them to, yeah, for all the little nooks and crannies. Okay, we'll let that sit for a bit before we go back and do some more coats. I don't think we need to do another coat of that Aztec copper. It looks pretty good, but definitely with the gold. See, even I just tried to put in the tiny amount possible and I've made heaps. So I've got to figure out a way to store the leftovers because I don't want to, I know it's probably like a quarter of a teaspoon of paint. Well, it is a quarter of a teaspoon of paint. Like I know it doesn't, you know, but I just hate to waste things. So I've got to figure that out. I'll just quickly adjust the top of that trident as well. I've just got a Fumui round brush in size 0. I'll just get that in there. Just get around some of the sides as well, some gaps. Right. Now let's go back to the CSY Walnut. It's just that one next to my thumb. And I'm going to use the same brush that I just had, so the Fumui in 0. Move everything up a little bit. And hopefully, oh, careful. Really got to get in there. Light my blob down the bottom. Hopefully that'll dry and it won't be as blobby. Tell you what though, really good way to practice a steady hand. Oh my gosh. Crazy stuff. Tell you what, the people that can get stuff really accurate, hats off to you. Well done. I'm sure you've had years and years of practice. I think good brushes make a difference as well. You know, I'm very sure that the Fumui aren't the best brushes that are out there because these were quite affordable, so I'm sure that there's more fancy pants ones, but the difference between the Fumui ones and just like the other ones I've had, just the even cheaper versions, are just phenomenal. So I think these brushes that I've got in my hand, I think they're quite reputable because I've definitely seen them around. But yeah, I reckon there would be brushes out there that would be hundreds. I got the whole set for a pretty good price. But hey, that's it is not bad for my standards in terms of my steadiness, just by looking at all of this. Not bad. I'm getting there. Practice, practice, practice. All right, now for the top one. Oh my gosh, the concentration that I have right now. Oh man. Got it. Let's go for a bigger area. My brush is loaded up. There we go. Heck. Sometimes I can get it really good and other times I'm all wiggly about it. Okay, I think it's, in terms of the walnuts, pretty good. I'm very wiggly down the bottom, but oh well. We could, yeah, I mean, we could do, but no, I kind of want to leave these for sparkly bits. Do another coat of that though. And I've just seen, we could just tweak up some tiny little bits with this one. Okay, I'm going to add more gold, another coat. It's all right when it catches the light, but when it's not, you can see it's just a little bit translucent still. Probably hear Ace sooking. That's a happy sook. He was outside and he was sooking because it was cold, so I let him in. And now he's doing a I'm happy sook. It's always something. Okay, we'll see how 2 coats go. Should be all right. Yeah, it's just a little bit of something in the middle here. It's kind of stuck in there. Oh well, it's there now. Right. We could tweak the starfish, but nah, they're fine. Now I want to do some extreme glitter. So usually with the glitter stuff, I tend to not use those Fumui ones, and I'll just use the Journal Say ones. This is a size 2. I tend to just have the same brush because it will, as much as I clean them out, they do get hard in there from all the glitter. Just kind of like that other brush, the other flat brush did, I guess. So I tend just to, yeah, keep one. So I'm thinking of, let's go the champagne. And it's fairly full, so I'll probably just dip right in. Now it might look a bit claggy when it goes on first. It might look a bit cloudy, but it does dry clear. I've done plenty of swatches with it to confirm that. So I'll just move. And I'll just start with, I'll just do these dots. Yeah, see, it looks quite, but it will dry clear. And I'm putting this champagne one on here because the tone of it really matches the tone of all the colours. We use that I'll probably use the hologram one in his hair because that matches the hair tone. And I'm very much trying not to get my hand and rest it, so apologies if all you're seeing is my knuckles. And I think we'll fill the moles in on his face with it too. So I'm kind of just like dotting it on. I don't know if you can see. Just kind of dropping it on, dipping it into the tub itself. Because I'm trying to not waste it. If I pour it out in a ramekin, I'm probably going to lose some. So I'll just keep it there for now. It'll probably get to a point where I'll have to pour it out because the level of it won't be high enough. You can see some of those starting to dry already, which is nice. Right, I don't think I've missed anything that is good. Now for the hair, let's go the hologram. And I'll use the same brush, and I could probably still dip in this too. So what I'm going to do is just go through and do individual strands, and I do this a fair bit. If you watched a few of my videos, yeah. I like to outline things. I like to accentuate patterns with it. So we'll just go through and do random ones. Let's do this big one down here. That'll be cool. So when it comes to the which glitter to choose, it depends on what's underneath. So you could do the champagne for a different look through his beard and whatnot, but I think because of the colours that we've got going on there, the hologram suits it because it's also got the blue-green colours in there where the champagne suits the other ones because it's got the browny, yellowy, goldy colour. And we could do one more down here. I could flip the book around, but I kind of can't bother. We'll just... you can see the one I'm doing there, hopefully. Let's do some in his eyebrows, why not? Okay, I think we need some in the mustache down here. I don't have any in that side. some over here. Okay, oh, a bit down here. But if you can see that. Yeah, you see it's like, I mean, I can see it quite well. It's coming up. It's like this very distinct aqua glitter. It's just silly cameras and their silly optical limitations. Hopefully I can get it for the thumbnail photo because it's very pretty. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is actually border off the border, and I think I'm going to use a gel pen for that. I'm going to try a Jelly Roll 551. We'll give this a crack. And if it's too thin, then I've got other options, but we'll just see. And I don't want to rule it because sometimes if you, I've seen it where like you rule it and then you pull the ruler away and it like drags the gel pen. So I'm going to try and freehand it. Oh, here we go. This could be a disaster, but oh no, she'll be right. Just gotta try and do it at one big line rather than here I just mushed it. Oh yay, I got it straighter than I thought. That's a win. Winning. Ooh. Probably not going to see that, but I'll go from the top. Sometimes it's all about the direction you come from. Up. Butchered that part. Other way, yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's all about the direction you come from. Not getting this part very straight. Oh heck. Oh well. You get the idea. Creaky chair. If I just keep practicing this, hopefully I'll get really good at it. Oh, we've got this part to do. Oh, I missed some watercolor up here. Okay. Looking pretty good. Guys, I think that's a wrap. We're done. Oh, he's got to be one of my favorite pages so far in May. What date are we? I think we're only like the 13th of May or something like that at the time of filming. And already I'm calling it. Look at that. There we go. Oh, sorry about that strobe. So it's champagne glitter color. We could do another coat of it, but I think it's good, and I am liking the decision to put it on his little moles as well. There we go. Ah, done. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're just watching this first to see whether you want to colour along or you are colouring along, thank you so much for being here. I really, really do appreciate it. I had so much fun with this page. So glad this is done. This is what I'm going to be coming back to and looking at. And I'm just noticing, I did say I'd go through with a fine liner, tweak up these bits, but I might not. We'll see. I think it looks fine. Looks nice and shiny. We'll leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for part 1 and part 2. I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.